Can't believe it's almost 1 o'clock and I'm just now getting to my daily update. But it's for good reason. I got to start the morning at the Alexandria Chamber's Women's Leadership Forum. It was a great opportunity to hear from other women leaders in our community about resilience, networks, and how we can support each other in our leadership journey. Now, for my update. Last fall, I asked the city manager to begin a State of the Economy series, where every month he provides an update to the council on the context in which we are making decisions, both at the local, state, regional, and national level. And so this month, we had a special guest. We invited Tracy Loh from the Brookings Institute. Brookings is a nonpartisan research organization and think tank. She presented on the impact of federal changes on our local economy. Specifically, she talked about how in January 2025, this administration started making dramatic cuts to federal jobs and federal spending. And many of those changes have started to be codified into law. Specifically, since January 2025, over 350,000 federal workers have departed the federal government. Over 13,000 federal contracts have been terminated, and over 15,000 federal grants have been canceled. Additionally, there are a number of office leases that have been canceled. And so Brookings has started what they're calling the DMV Monitor. The role of the monitor is to begin to track those impacts on our regional economy. So the DMV region is extremely important and powerful. There are over 6 million people who live here. And when you think about Northern Virginia, over 50% of the state's GDP comes from our area. Some of the interesting takeaways for our city are that one, while many of our surrounding jurisdictions have been impacted by a loss in federal jobs, Alexandria has actually gained some federal jobs. The big story for us is what's happening in the private sector. We have experienced the greatest drop in private sector jobs than any other Northern Virginia jurisdiction. In fact, federal contracts coming to our community have dropped by 16%. So as those contracts and grants are being cut, it's really impacting businesses and industries that have made their home here. In fact, we are seeing the highest rate of unemployment at 1.1% compared to any of our surrounding Northern Virginia jurisdictions. That's really shocking. The second thing we talked about was changes in internships. So the fact that in the DC region, internships are down by 29% and how that's impacting young people and our future worker pipeline. So I would encourage you to go and watch the video. You can find all meetings and dockets on the city's website to learn a little bit more about how federal changes are specifically impacting Alexandria.